So Thon is a basketball player who plays for the Milwaukee Bucks in the NBA. To be honest, he hasn't done too well since being drafted in 2016, this season averaging only 5.1 points per game, last year averaging 4.8, and his rookie year averaging 4 points per game. He's actually played really well and stepped up his game big time in the playoffs, which is something that's very strange. He seems to really play well in big games and then not so much in other games. As of right now, he's pretty much a bust for the 10th pick in the draft, but at 21 years old, he definitely has time to turn it around. And I know his name's pronounced Thon, but he has said he doesn't mind being called Thon, and also that's what the majority of people know him as, so I'm going to call him that throughout the video. But from 2012 to 2014, this guy was seen as just a freak of nature. Never before had we seen a high school player be able to do the stuff that this guy was doing in high school. At one stage, he was actually ranked above Ben Simmons, and it was hilarious. The top 2 recruits in America at one stage for the 2015 class were both Australian, Thon and Ben Simmons, with Thon being seen as the superior player. Never had a 7-footer been able to dribble the ball, move, and shoot as well as Thon, as well as being as fluid and as natural an athlete as Thon. However, rather than going the conventional route, going through college, going to the NBA, he decided to go to a prep school, and he kind of fell off the face of the earth for a year before declaring for the NBA draft, becoming the first player in 10 years to go straight from high school. But it was around the time of the draft that there was a huge controversy about Thon, and to be honest, not even caused by him. And that's what I'm going to talk about in this video. Before we get onto it, I'd just like to say we are doing a daily December. It's currently Christmas Eve, so we have got another 7 videos to come out after today. So if you guys like this content, subscribe. If you guys like basketball content, subscribe. We're trying to hit 85,000 subscribers by the end of tomorrow, by the end of Christmas Day. Right now, we're about 650 off, so we're not that far off, but it's going to be really, really close. So if you guys like this content, subscribe. I'd really appreciate it, and if we could hit 85,000, that'd be unreal. But anyway, now let's get on to the video. So coming up towards the NBA draft, there was huge controversy surrounding Thon and what age he actually was. And hilariously enough, this was all started by a Reddit post. Someone posted on Reddit a photo of a yearbook from his school in Australia, which said he graduated in the year 2010, and also pictures of him throughout the yearbook proving that he graduated in 2010. So there's very, very few people questioning that. And to be honest, that turned a lot of NBA teams off him. However, he was taken by the Milwaukee Bucks with the 10th overall pick, and obviously the Bucks, unlike a lot of teams, paid no attention to this Reddit post. But this post pretty much drove the NBA front offices into a frenzy. This was a guy who was seen as someone who may be the best player in the 2016 NBA draft when it was all said and done. This was a guy who was a prodigy. This was a guy who was ranked higher than Ben Simmons, who went number 1 in that draft in high school. This was a guy who could honestly have been a superstar, and teams weren't willing to take him with a first round pick due to concerns about his age. And if you guys were to just look at this Reddit post and not look a lot deeper into it, a lot deeper into what the school system is like in Australia, to be completely honest, you would be convinced he is 23, 24 when he was supposedly 19. Obviously, I think now he is 21, so 25, 26 at this stage. So I'm going to show some of the pictures now, and as you guys can see, he did graduate in 2010, and also that somehow Stephen A. Smith graduated with him. The resemblance is uncanny between this guy and Stephen A., but also there's a timeline of what they think happened. And obviously the timeline starts with that he graduated in 2010 from Arranmore Catholic College, which is a high school, which is true. That is 100% true. And during that time, he was discovered by Edmund Smith, who, to be honest, is a little bit of a shady talent scout, brings a lot of kids from Sudan over to America. And when he saw Thon's size and athleticism, he made sure to work with him, but at the same time, at 18 years old, he knew he had no chance. So he resurfaced in Australia as a 14-year-old prodigy, where he was dominating. Then he went to America, became a prodigy then, and became one of the best high school players in America for a couple of years, and then obviously became an NBA player. So this seems really, really convincing, but there's a lot of red flags that unless you actually look really deep into it, you're not going to see the red flags. Like, this is honestly something you gotta have to look into a lot to disprove, and you're also going to have to talk to a lot of people that would know about the school and would know about kind of the school system in Australia and look into that more so than anything. The first reason is that he came to Australia when he was supposedly 6 years old. And if he faked his age, then he would have been 10 years old coming in. So he would have had to get a passport, say he was 6 when he was 10 years old. And like, you guys should all know how big a difference there is between a 6-year-old and a 10-year-old. Especially someone like Thon, who I'm pretty sure was tall and long his entire life. I wouldn't be surprised if he was like, say, close enough to 5 foot tall at 10 years old. Trust me, you're not gonna fool anyone saying that a 5 foot tall person is 6 years old. There is not a chance he would have been able to get away with that. There's that big a difference between 6 years old and 10 years old. But again, while a 0.0% chance that that happens, it also could have been possible that he's maybe 8 years old at the time. They said he was 6, so I'm not gonna use this as concrete evidence. Another thing is that he had a passport issued in 2009, which said he was born in 1997, the day he says he was born. And also, Edmund Smith hadn't seen Thon Maker in 2009. In 2009, Edmund Smith was in America working with a different prospect. So the theory that the entire thing was orchestrated by Edmund Smith to get him to the NBA, that is completely false. The passport thing 100% disproves that. And also the fact you can't just change your date of birth randomly at 12 years old when you'd already been in the country 6 years. So the theory that a talent scout changed his date of birth to make him a prospect, that should be completely thrown out the window. And also if you look up about the school he was in, which is Arranmore in Australia obviously, it had a new arrivals learning center. I'm gonna leave it on the screen now, exactly a quote about the new arrivals learning center from the college. But basically what it is a program for kids that can't really speak English too well, can't really write in English, and they do that program through their school, and eventually when they're able to go to mainstream school, they do go to mainstream school, but at the same time, they don't just study English, they do a lot of other subjects, and they also take part in things like sports and do a lot of creative things, which is obviously why Thon Maker was seen playing sports with the kids. And to be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if he played sports with people older than him, because obviously he was bigger for his age, and he was also almost the same height as everyone around him when he was in school. And had he been 18 years old, he probably would have been way taller than them all. But at 4 years younger and being a tall 14-year-old, being the same height as 18-year-olds kind of makes sense then. And then there's honestly kind of a lot of other things, such as this video of him from 2011 where he clearly looks 14 years old, the age he supposedly is. And also, if people believe that he is 4 years old and he says he is, that he grew between the ages of 22 and 23, and his wingspan grew 2 inches between the age of 23 and 24, which is all highly unlikely. From doing a lot of research into this, it's unlikely that he fabricated his age, and it's 100% not true that he fabricated his age in the way a lot of people believe. However, kids coming into countries without birth certificates, you can honestly never tell what age they actually are. However, I'm going to give him and his family the benefit of the doubt, and there's honestly no point questioning his age, because pretty much every argument you can make to say that he's older than he is can be debunked with just a little bit of research. And the crazy thing is, to this day, the name Thon Maker is synonymous with faking age and being way older than he is. However, that's just not the case, especially because when people think of Thon Maker, they think about the whole graduating 4 years early and being 4 years older than he is, and people believe that as fact, and it's just not true, which is why I made this video. So anyway, that's the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.